Hello, everybody here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on Stitzer, Wisconsin. In case you can't tell yet, I am still dealing with a head cold here yet, Evan. So, again, this episode, I actually managed to make it almost a full episode here yesterday, but we'll see how it goes here today. Again, just trying to make it here as far as I can. I am still really stuffed up here yet. Yeah, again, I mentioned this here last episode, Evan. You take all this cold medication, right? Excuse me. Cold medication seems to work pretty good for the cough and the sore throat and, even the chest congestions. I would say it seems to work pretty good for that. But at least for me, when it comes to the head sinus congestion, like, oh my goodness, I don't know. Never found anything that works really good on that yet. So, yep, seems like we need something better, something that knocks out the head congestion here. Then these head colds won't be quite so bad. Again, I don't know about you folks. I know everyone gets colds a little bit differently. At least going to my family, my dad, he usually gets like horrendous sore throats. Usually the sinuses aren't quite so bad for him, but he usually gets horrendous sore throats and stuff like that. So in my case, usually, like I said, taking the cold medication takes care of the sore throat, but head congestion, that's a whole nother story. So anyway, we are still alive here tonight. We'll see how far we can make it. Speaking of making it, I'm working on cleaning up a little bit of hired worker here, a course play left behind on this field. We've got, double check here, I think we only got one more field left to plant here this episode. Excuse me. We're going to see if we can get that done yet. Well, probably won't have it done by the end of this episode, but once I'm done recording, then we'll finish it up, and next episode we'll be on to, I don't know, whatever we'll be on to next. Also, apparently this planter must not no-till, so good to know of one. Good thing I did actually run the cultivator across all of this here. Otherwise, we would not have been planting any of this. I did not realize this was not a no-till planter. I mean, technically, I guess, sure, maybe. Typically, going into the whole no-till thing, your qualifications for a no-till planter are you need to have some sort of downforce on it. You might have to have some row cleaners. Yeah, it kind of depends on your field, right? And your soil. Oh, let's see. Actually, you know what? The next field is the one behind the farm here. We do have 2 row crop planters, I guess. So, and speaking of which, planting soybeans on that last field. I thought we were going to do some more Pioneer Brown mid-rib corn here. So we'll switch out our seed here a minute. I think I've said this before. I mean, in some ways, it's kind of cool. You actually have to, buy the correct seed to fill the planter, right? But at the same time, dealing with this mess, everyone is just like, oh my goodness, I don't know about this. I put the fertilizer back in, and then I got to find my Pioneer. That's the seed. That's soybean seed. Alfalfa seed. Clover. More clover? Why do I have 2 clovers? Weird. Do not know why I have 2 clovers. Oats, okay. I know I got corn here. There we go. I knew I had one. Okay, go ahead and refill the fertilizer back, refill the seed. Probably not going to be enough to quite fill it. And we'll head back to the next field here. It's the one behind the farm, field 80, I believe is the number on that. Hopefully that field is done being cultivated here, everyone. Between episodes, I left or at least, let me rephrase that. I thought I left course play on the field, Evan. Came back and checked it, I don't know, maybe an hour or 2 later. And come to find out, he was stuck right up at the corner of the fence here. Like, he made it, like, a couple 100 feet around the field, and that was it. Yeah, like, he was stuck. Literally right over here. We started him here somewhere, I think. And he was right over there. Like, really? Wow. Did not make it very far at all. Okay. I see we missed a little bit here, so given the fact that apparently this planter is not no-till, let's clean this up here just a little bit. On the cultivator across this, I don't know if there's, we'll check the map, see if there's anything down at the other end here too or not. Oh, let's see here. What's the verdict on this here? Whoa. Big section missing right there, huh? Now, what is up with that? I mean, if you look at the courseplay map, it looks like we shouldn't have an issue there, but apparently we do something. Which reminds me, too, for those of you who maybe didn't notice it here, I had bailed, or at least I thought I had bailed this field, Evan. Courseplay left some rather large spots on this field missing. I don't know what was up with that, but yeah, that was weird. And we're using that OP baler, too, yet, so, like, wow. How does courseplay miss, like... And it missed quite a bit, too. Like, there was a lot missing. I'm like, how in the world? Just out of curiosity, we open this up. Yeah, there's... I mean, like, there's courseplay lines here. I have no idea. No idea. Oh, well, we'll just hide that. Pull the cultivator back up, and that should be good. I don't need the field to be 100%, but if we can get to 99, that'll be good enough, right? Probably better than most farmers can accomplish in their fields in real life. Seems like real life, you always have something, in a field that, is maybe not quite right. You can't plant this or that area, or just maybe the way you turn into it, like, now the planter's not going to fit quite right there, or, yeah, right where the field entrance is, just, you plant it, but it never comes up right. Too much compaction right there. And I don't know if you can tell them, but we still got a lot of bales left yet. Oh, and that reminds me. I keep forgetting that one. I want to see if I can fix these bales yet. Get the texture for them so they actually show up properly. Okay, let's plant some corn. And seeing as how we're not using GPS, should we put the row markers down? Why not? Pulling this with the lovely John Deere 4020, by the way. Close course, but we don't need that open here at the moment. Oh, no, maybe before we go too much further, that reminds me we did plant another soybean field. Wouldn't mind rolling the soybean field there. Got the roller out on, let's see once here. Is it over here yet? Yes, it is. Before we get too much further in the plant, let's bring this up to the field there. Get that going here as well. Looks like a little missing spot there. Oh, well. As I've said before, monetarily speaking, I don't believe a rolling is worth it. So, if you want to do it, good for you. But don't do it for the monetary value because, just, yeah, it's not there. Not there, in my opinion. I'd love to be proved wrong in that. If someone wants to take the time to do the math on the economy on that, let me know. But... Or let me know your folks' thoughts, too. Like, is a 1% yield increase worth it? Again, like I said, forget what Giants said, Evan. Now, mind you, I don't know, maybe in the recent updates in the game here, maybe Giants has changed something, Evan. But I know, going back, that's probably, 2 years ago now? This game has been out for 3 years, Evan. Like, yeah, this game has been out for 3 years. It does not feel like it's been that long, right? But this game has been out for 3 years now. And I don't remember exactly when I tested this, Evan, but I'm sure it was shortly after the game came out. And the best we could ever get was 1% yield increase. So, like, is 1% really worth it? Don't forget, you gotta buy the roller. Either if you do it yourself or hired worker, you're gonna have to pay fuel and hired worker or fuel. And then you got your time in it too, everyone. So, I know some of you folks might look at that. Well, my time's free technically in the game, right? I would argue with you it shouldn't be. Your time in the game should be valued at whatever you can make per hour. And if you are rolling a field, that is probably reducing the amount you can make per hour. So, that being said, we're still going to roll our soybeans, Evan. It is something you would do in real life sometimes, or a lot of times. It's not super common around where I live, Evan. There are a few farmers that do it. But again, there's a lot of farmers that don't. I will have to say, it does, you can definitely tell the fields that have been rolled. I mean, always a nice, smooth field, which is the point, by the way. Let's see, get this set up here a minute. Okay, first waypoint, drive the course. And I'm going to head back to planting corn. I think that's about the only thing we got going on here at the moment, by the way. Like I said, once we're done planting this corn here, we'll be good to probably skip through the night. And we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into the next day here. Probably have some weeds to spray. Going back to the rolling there again, real life, everyone. Typically, you roll your field to just keep that field as smooth as possible. Push down any clumps of dirt. Push down any stones, hopefully. Just, again, keep that field smooth, because a lot of times when you're harvesting soybeans, when you're running your combine head relatively close to the ground, and any dirt or stones, obviously not a great combination for your combine head, typically. So I don't know that rolling in real life necessarily has any sort of increase in crop per se. I don't know. You folks let me know on that. Like, does rolling it actually increase the bushels per acre? I don't know that it necessarily has anything to do with that one. It's got more to do with saving your combine header, hopefully, or your combine for that matter. Keep the stones and dirt from getting in the combine, which again, like I said, that can obviously add up to some real money there if you start running stones through stuff that shouldn't be. Start breaking sickles, or worse yet, the stone gets further up in the combine. You start breaking stuff inside the combine. And for those of you wondering, yes, combines are designed to hopefully stop that from happening. But yeah, obviously it still tends to happen sometimes. And usually if the stone's big enough, it's not good. It's never good when a stone goes through a combine. Combines are meant for softer materials, not stones or steel or anything like that. And hopefully you folks can hear me okay here. Doing the best I can here with the voice I have. Again, head cold wise, I can't complain too much about all the rest of the stuff. Sore throat's pretty good. Actually, I would say sore throat's pretty much non-existent. I don't think anything much for chest congestion. Maybe a little cough here and there. That's about it. It's mostly all, again, up in my sinuses, and I'm just stuffed the crap up. Yeah. Wish I knew how to get that stuff out. Yeah, normally too, if you take the cold medication quick enough, usually can stop it from getting up in your head, but not this time. I took it right away, but it did not stop this head cold from getting up in my nose, or my sinuses. Must be one of those, real good colds here this time around. I know some of you folks in the comments mentioned you've got them as well, so, yeah, that time of year again, I guess, right, everyone? Unfortunately, too, as I mentioned last episode, we got a baby in the house now, so, like, oh boy, trying to keep the baby from getting sick. Try to keep the wife from getting sick as well, because obviously she's pretty much the sole caretaker of the baby here at this point, because I'm kind of trying to stay away as much as possible, which is obviously no fun. But well, it is what it is. step in one of our larger fields here in case you can't tell. Takes a second to get around it. For those who are wondering, by the way, I do have the decongesting nose spray as well. Again, I've never found anything that actually works. Like, if anyone knows of it, let me know, because, yeah, I've got the nose spray one. I mean, it maybe helps a little bit, but not really. I've tried the various head and cold medications. You know, again, they kind of tend to help make it a little more bearable, right? But still, they don't, like, there doesn't seem to be anything out there that actually, like, knocks the congestion out. Like, yeah, I don't know. For anyone looking to make a fortune in life, I've got a real great suggestion for you. You know, if you can come up with a cure for the common cold, I can probably pretty much guarantee you will probably be set for life. Now, of course, with that being said, we can't mention that without, of course, mentioning the conspiracy theories that are out there on that one as well. For those who never heard the conspiracy theories the conspiracy theory is that the drug manufacturers have already solved the head cold. They simply will not release the drug because they make more money off selling cold medication than they would selling, you know, the cure for the common cold. That's the conspiracy. Is it true? I have no idea. Probably not, but you never know. Gotta say, nothing like planting with a good old John Deere 4020, right? About as classic as you get, if you ask me. And as I've mentioned before in this series, Evan, I think it's pretty much a requirement if you're a farmer, you have to own at least one 4020, right? Like, if folks stop and think about it, how many farmers do you know, at least assuming they run John Deeres anyway, how many farmers do you know that actually have a John Deere 4020? Like, if I stop and think about them, I think a lot of the farmers I know have, you know, a 4020. You know, at least if they're running John Deere, you know, some of the maybe farmers that run the red equipment. I know farmers run the red equipment, right? What a joke. But the farmers that are running the good green stuff, everyone, pretty much they almost always have a 4020. They might have the John Deere 8Rs, the 9RXs, and all that stuff. Usually they still have a 4020 sitting around somewhere yet. And of course, your smaller farms, well, they definitely have a 4020 sitting around. They probably actually use it quite heavily yet. Huh. Well, how do you like that? Something don't quite look right there, everyone. I think we ran out of... Oh, we ran out of fertilizer. Okay. Wow. I didn't think we'd run out that quickly. I don't know if I got any more over here or not. We can go right here. We'll just drive over there. Let's see. I think that's fertilizer on the truck, if I remember correctly. Topping off. There we go. Back to the field. Obviously, a planter like this, not equipped with any sort of alarms when you run out of something, right? Not compared to your newer planters where, yeah, you start running low on a seed box or fertilizer or whatever it might be. Next thing you know, it starts beeping and flashing at you. An individual row shutoff? What the heck is that? In fact, this planter is probably ground driven if I had to guess. Wow, actually off every tire? Really? Huh. If you look, Evan, you can see the chain going up here. So with this style planter, there's usually a bar, and actually I think, is it that one right there? I think it's that one right there, if you can see it. A bar that runs from one end of the planter to the other. Usually connects to the tires, and usually by the tires or somewhere thereabouts, or sometimes it's over here too. Actually, is it here? Nope. Oh, maybe it's here. Usually somewhere in here when they have like a whole, I don't know if you'd really call it a transmission per se, but like you can change your gear sizes and chain lengths, and yeah, you change that up, and you can change your planting population and all that good stuff. Looks like that is in the center right there. I think that's what that's supposed to be. So, depending on what kind of population you want to plant, you change your gearing right there. It is ground driven from the tires. Looks like this particular planter actually has a chain going in every single tire. Not sure, is that the way it is in real life? So the ones I'm familiar with usually just, and maybe I'm familiar with the older ones, usually driven off one tire. Driven off all four seems like, a good idea. Get one that's slipping or spinning for some reason. Not turning, while the other three hopefully will turn. But then, yeah, just turns the whole bar that goes all the way across. And chain or whatever it might be that links to each one of the individual row units. So again, no real shut off per row. Same population in everyone. Oh, well, within reason, right? Given the accuracy of these planters. You can see, too, you got the chain running up the fertilizer box there. Same story there. Bar runs all the way across. Got a meter roll in there. It drops the fertilizer down in the tube. And I think this one, does it actually drop it in the furrow? I think it does on this one. Oh, well, I was going to say I should put my marker down, but we had our marker down last time, everyone. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I guess... Oh, if you look really, really, and I mean really close, I'll bet you folks in the video probably can't even see it. With YouTube's compression and all that good stuff, by the time YouTube reduces the quality a little bit, I'm betting there's no way you folks can even see the difference there. I mean, I can barely see it. I don't know if I come at... Can I look at it from this direction? Will it be a little more obvious? Okay, a little more obvious maybe from this direction. It's got a little change in color there. But yeah, from this direction, same color. Yeah, wow. So I can put my roll marker down on, but it's, yeah, it's not going to do me any good. Hopefully maybe Giants will improve upon that here in the next version of one. That is something I've complained about before. Row markers. It'd be nice if they actually left a row sometimes, right? And sometimes they do work, everyone. Better than others sometimes, but... Yeah, again, just kind of given the way the game works, it's hit or miss with the row markers. And I won't necessarily even blame mod authors for them, because even Giants' old planners, sometimes it works okay, sometimes it don't. In the case of this map, looks like it's going to be a solid don't. This is maybe where we need to get into the whole, your ground dries out as you work it, right? So obviously when you first work a field, Evan, usually you can see the progression on the field, right? Like, okay, you started over there. The ground has started to dry. You can see, well, my last pass, the ground is still wet yet, right? Maybe that's how they need to do the whole row crop. So obviously, or row crop, the marker, Evan. The marker, obviously, it's going to be turning over fresh soil, so in theory, it should be wet soil. And then it'll dry out and maybe it won't disappear, but it'll disappear somewhat, right? I don't remember what farming game it was again, but there was a farming game out there that actually had that built into it, where the ground actually did dry as you worked it. I'd like to say it was one of the agricultural simulator simulators there. Don't remember which one, but I think at this point, farming simulators kind of proved its dominance over the farming sim market, I would say. Obviously, there's some others out there, but none of them really other compared to a farming simulator that I know of. You do have cattle and crops of them, which, if that game would have continued to be developed, probably would have been very promising, but alas, yeah. Development, as far as I know, is dead on that one, so just a reminder, by the way, even if you haven't already clicked the subscribe button, don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. Of course, as always, too, if you like the video, and we'll give the video the old thumbs up right there. Don't forget to turn on your notifications as well. Get notified of the next latest, greatest episode going live. Speaking of which, we are into the month of November now. Wow, November. Can you believe it? We are, let's see what's here. This is going live November 2, right? November 2, so we are 10 days. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we are 10 days away from Farming Simulator 25 being released. We're also a couple of days away from the election here in the U.S. as well. So for those of you watching in the U.S., we're a couple of days away from that. I don't know about you folks, kind of ready for that all to be done with. Stop all the spam calls, spam emails, spam texts. Like, oh my goodness, I mean, it is just non-stop barrage of text messages, emails, phone calls. It's like, oh my goodness. One of those things where you're like, you call me one more time, I'm going to vote for the other party just out of spite because of that. Not really, but I mean, you folks know what I mean. Well, it looks like we finish up this headland. We'll be about ready to wrap it up here for today's episode already. Actually, I think it went better recording this episode than it did last episode, so that's good. Probably sound about the same as I did last episode, I think. Well, at least hopefully I do anyway. Well, maybe hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully I sound better. Probably don't, but it'd be nice if I sounded better. The congestion has cleared up just a little bit, maybe. Of course, it kind of tends to come and go sometimes, too, so we'll see once if it stays that way or not. And I should rephrase that. When I say cleared up, I mean the pressure has let off a little bit. Well, I thought we were closer to the headland, or where we started than that. That was the hill over here, wasn't it? I was thinking that the hill where we're going up was the hill over here. I'm on, but no. We still got to go up that hill yet. Okay, well, we'll make it there. We'll make it. There we go. There's the hill we're going up. This is the one I was thinking we were on earlier, but now we're actually on it. Okay, there we go. I think that's close enough. We're going to call here for today's episode. So that you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, Evan, thanks for watching. Until next time.